Hey guys, what's up? Today we're reviewing the Percept 97 from Yonex, and we're about to hop on court now and see how it hits.
For this playtest, we strung up the racket with Yonex Poly Tour Rev, which is an 8-sided silicone-infused filament polyester string in the matching mint green colorway. We have our longtime customer, VCore Pro 97 user, current D1 college player filling in to give the racket justice and a proper review from his years of using this racket setup.
The Percept 97 is 310 grams, which equates to 10.6 ounces unstrung, with a swing weight of 315, making it 7 points head light, with a balance point of 12.6 inches. As the name suggests, it has a 97 square inch head, a standard length of 27 inches, an open 16 by 19 string pattern, and a constant beam width of 21 millimeters. The stock grip is Yonex synthetic and has a fresh new mint green cosmetic. The 97 sits in the middle of the Percept silo, with the 97D and 97H being 10 and 20 grams heavier respectively, and with the 100D and the 100 being 5 and 10 grams lighter respectively. The Percept line of rackets takes over where the VCore Pro left off. These rackets are namely targeted towards players looking for precision in a comfortable low stiffness frame. With this racket being endorsed by one of the hottest Americans on tour, Frances Tiafoe, and being a longtime user of the VCore Pro 97, I was excited to take this latest update out on court and put it to the test. We decided to string it up with Yonex's Poly Tour Rev in its newest minted specifically for this racket. Based on looks alone, this racket is already a winner in my book, but let's dive into the performance. From the baseline, I was in complete control of the court. Whether I was flicking forehands or blasting backhands, I could trust this racket to hold steady, protect my arm, and help all my shots dip in with devastating effect. Compared to its predecessor, the increased layers of graphite granted more rigidity, which provided a more consistent launch angle. Especially while taking aggressive cuts, I could hit heavy shots, pushing my opponents farther and farther back, setting up easy putaways. On defense is where I struggled a little bit. When stretched wide, I found myself reverting to the slice backhand, as other decisions left me vulnerable to continued attacks. That said, the relatively thin, constant beam made slicing a breeze.
When you talk about this racket, you have to mention the slice and one-handed application. This racket, from the head size, balance, and stability, is perfect for the one-handed backhand. You get optimal response in the handle, reduced torque with the smaller isometric head, and superb flex. If you are a one-handed player, you should almost certainly find a Yonex version of the racket you play, as it's a match for that stroke.
Point in and point out, this racket provided consistent performance. I never forget to appreciate the increased sweet spot provided by Yonex's isometric head shape, which makes this racket feel more like a 100 square inch head than a 97. This update in particular, however, with the addition of the servo filter, which reduced many of the unwanted vibrations while continuing to transmit the essential ones, really made playing long points throughout a long match painless. I thoroughly enjoyed the ease with which I could maneuver this racket, generating remarkable head speed, never having to worry about failing to get the racket out in front in time to punish my opponents.
This is a very demanding racket which should not be used by young or inexperienced players. It has a small racket head, is in the heavyweight class, and truly performs best for those physically and talent strong. We see so many players in store accidentally stumbling across this racket because they love it short term in a demo, but months later develop serious pain. If you like the setup but lack the background on court, this is why rackets come in multiple variations to cater to the elite and entry-level player. The Percept 100 and 100D are less skill-demanding versions of this racket for those who are perhaps younger but appreciate the control and all-court nature of this racket.
This racket granted me many opportunities to step into the court and come to net. When there, I noticed some increased ball pocketing afforded to me by the FlexCon system, which allowed the racket shafts to bend and extend the ball's dwell time, making it easier for me to control and place the ball accurately. Whether I had to really punch my volleys or redirect my opponent's pace, this racket was everything I could ask for. There was no shot that I felt I couldn't execute, whether it be a drop shot, deep penetrating volley, or a short chip to draw my opponent in. Overall, up at the net, this racket was fantastic. This racket scored highly in our Solow Sports review. As a control-oriented racket with a larger than average sweet spot, coupled with a flexible RA, this racket is a must-try for players who like to take aggressive cuts at the ball, value feel and control, and love the new minty fresh cosmetic. Generally speaking, we recommend that players looking into this racket have an NTRP rating of 4.0 or higher, have a more conventional swing style, and have a one-handed backhand. Similar rackets from other brands would be the Babolat Pure Strike 97, the Head Radical Pro, the Dunlop CX200 Tour 16x19, the Technifiber TF40 315, and the Wilson ProStaff 97 V14.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see the rest of the models from this line, hit that subscribe button and click here.